on an all-new Dr. Phil.
She abandoned her daughter to go and live with her girlfriend in a car.
I put up shades to keep people from watching us sleep.
Where is she going?
You have a tracking device on her car.
What is she doing?
The device shows some really radical behavior.
And what would happen if her parents said,
"We're not willing to take care of your child anymore. Now what are you going to do?"
I guess I've got my child living in a car with me and my girlfriend.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. We're talking to Nancy today. She wrote into the show urgently pleading for me to save her 23-year-old daughter, Paige, who she claims has gone from being an attentive mother to her 18-month-old baby to abandoning the little girl to live in her car with her girlfriend. Now, Nancy was so concerned that she put a tracking device on Paige's car to know her whereabouts at all times. Paige's girlfriend is in a treatment facility. Paige has moved back in with her parents, but they fear the minute she's released, Paige will leave her baby girl in the dust, hit the highway again, back in the car with her girlfriend. Take a look.
My daughter Paige has gone from a wonderful mother to a somewhat reckless person.
Paige has turned into a liar, and I think she's taking drugs.
Paige is on a downward spiral. She recently abandoned her daughter to go and live with her girlfriend in a car. We can't trust Paige.
Paige, her daughter, and her girlfriend were kicked out of where they were living because of constant arguing and very much just a disruptive environment.
Recently, Paige had asked us if her girlfriend could move in with us, and we said absolutely not. As far as I know, Paige's girlfriend is currently in treatment.
After she started living in the car, we didn't even see Paige. We're sure that Paige does drugs. Paige is driving around all over, all hours of the night, going to places where we know that drugs are bought and consumed.
She started rapidly losing weight, all the way down to 90 pounds. She looked absolutely sick. She looked like a different person. It's very suspicious. We decided to start tracking our daughter for her safety.
I think the tracking idea was my idea.
The tracking device confirmed for me that Paige is doing drugs and selling drugs. I said, so if you took a drug test now, what would it show? And she said marijuana, and I said, that's it? She said, yeah. My husband went and got a drug test. She refused to take it, and she left. My biggest fear is that Paige is going to leave her daughter again and go back to living in the car with her girlfriend and continue the life of drugs that they were leading before.
Okay, so tell me what's going on. Why would she be willing to leave her daughter and go live in a car with some girl?
Dr. Phil, that is a really good question.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Swear I won't forget this, why do I regret this? In my mind reckless, thoughts are feeling endless. Sitting up I'm breathless, anxiety's infectious. I feel so defenseless, betrayed and embarrassed. I hate being open, I hate being broken. I feel like an ocean filled up with emotion. Anger ain't a potion, rub it on like lotion. I can feel it soaking, reopen, the scars have awoken. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go.
She, you know, since her daughter was born, has been a fantastic mom. She doesn't even have a TV in her apartment, her old apartment. She was on the floor playing with her. She's with her every minute, stay at home. I mean, she was a fantastic mother. And so what changed, I'm not 100% sure, because it is not at all in her character.
For sure. So you think she's on drugs?
There's definitely some suspicious behavior, yes.
Well, that's not what I asked you. I asked you, are you convinced she's on drugs?
I do believe she's on drugs, yes.
So I'm trying to find out what you guys think and what you don't, because there's a lot of fuzzy innuendo in here, and I'm curious if you believe some of the things you say you believe, why you're doing some of the things you're doing. Like, she has a car. Where'd she get the car?
It's in my name. It's our car.
Okay, so you supplied her a car, but yet you have a tracking device on it, and the tracking device shows some really radical behavior, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Like, you've got her on a Sunday recently, just a few months ago, doing 114 miles an hour on the tracking device, 109 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour, 103 miles an hour, 106 miles an hour. And you've known that for a couple of months.
Yes, that's
and if
true.
that's going on, why are you're providing her with this car that she's out driving over 100 miles an hour?
The fear is that as soon as we reveal that we're tracking her, simply to really understand where she is, that she's going to take the tracking device off, and then we really won't know where she is. She'll flee for good.
As I said, these parents have been tracking their daughter with a GPS unit that gives a lot of data, high tech these days. Take a look.
This is the car that Paige drives. Out of concern, we put a tracker on it right under there. Paige is going to work, and we are going to go see what this girl does while my daughter works, driving my car in my name that she's not supposed to be driving.
Placing the tracking device on the vehicle was the right thing to do.
Paige is over there, still rifling through the trunk. That backpack is what we think that the drugs are in.
Put on my satellite and see where she is. She has to be at work in 20 minutes. Unless she leaves right now, she's not going to make it. She is still in the same place, and it's 3:57. She's supposed to work at 4 o'clock. We're down the street, so we're just going to ride by there and see. And that's her car right there. She's not in it. It's 3:59, and she's supposed to be at work in 1 minute. And it is about a 20-minute drive. Here is Paige and the girl that she's living with in the car coming out of this is where they shower every day. Number one, she's lying and watching her child. And number two, it's shady.
Okay, she's going to know,
Yes,
either today or soon,
She's going to know today.
that you've got a tracking device on her car, so what are you going to do about it? I mean...
Well, we need to confront her. I've been in favor of taking the car altogether.
She couldn't live in her car if you didn't give her a car.
That is
Correct.
true.
She couldn't go and speed in her car and drive recklessly if you didn't provide her a car to go speed and drive recklessly.
That is
in.
true.
Well, this tracking device that you have on her car shows her doing some other erratic behaviors, right?
Yes,
Correct.
sir.
Because we have some images here that show that Paige, she like leave to go to work, for example, and she went to 4 different locations before being 15 minutes late to work. So she'll leave and she stops in location 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and she's only there for like that long. Like long enough to, in your mind, do a transaction.
Absolutely. And Dr. Phil, she'll lie to us almost every time she leaves the house. Oh, they called me into work early, and she'll rush out of the house, and then she'll do something like this. Or
Okay, but what we're seeing is here, she'll leave the house, and then home, then she stops hotel parking lot, then she goes to credit union parking lot, and she's just going to this parking lot. She's there for just a minute or two.
Yes.
Yes, and it establishes a pattern too, because it's not just that day. We're seeing certain areas that she goes to, which leads us to believe that it's
Regularly.
the same 2 to 3 minutes
Okay.
on a daily basis.
So what would be alternate explanations for why she's there?
I don't know if I have
She'll
an
give
alternate
you one, I'm sure.
explanation. Yeah, she'll probably give you one. But, you know, to me, she used to just park for 15 minutes before work, 15 minutes after work, and we thought she's doing some sort of drug, you know, in that time, because that was a definite pattern. But this has only started in the past week and a half, this running around thing all over the place.
Just the last week and a half.
A week and a half to 2 weeks, yeah, and it just seems like she's dealing drugs.
Just a few days ago, she took the baby to the park.
No,
She did not
didn't.
take the baby to the park. She said she was going to.
That's what she said.
Yes.
Yes.
The map shows that she made 5 stops in parking lots before going to visit the girlfriend in the treatment facility, then made 3 other parking lot stops before going home. So you have all this information, so what are you prepared to do about it is my question. Obviously, she's lying to you.
Obviously.
Correct.
And she has said, rather than leave her girlfriend completely homeless, she will go be homeless with her.
Yes.
And abandon her daughter to you again, which she's done before.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
So what are you prepared to do if that's her position, is what I need to know. What are you
Today,
prepared to do?
I mean, I'm ready to take the car. I don't think she gets the car back regardless.
Correct.
Whatever happens today, this is almost the justification for this ends now. And we're ready to file for protective custody of our grandchild.
Well, coming up, Paige says there's nothing wrong with her, and she sees her daughter whenever she wants. Well, yes, because she's living with her mother and father right now where her daughter is residing, so she can come and go and see her daughter when she wants to. And that's not okay. My question is why? I'm going to ask her those questions, find out her side of the story after the break.
I've got my life pretty much together. My family thinks I keep secrets.
I think she's taking drugs.
I would move back into my car if it meant keeping my girlfriend from being homeless.
And later, we did a drug screen on you. I haven't looked, but I suspect you know whether it's clean or not. Is it clean?
Paige has always had dysfunctional relationships. It seems like every person that she ends up with has nothing.
Paige seems to gravitate towards people who have problems themselves. When Paige is wrapped up in relationships, she does lose sight of some of the bigger picture things right in front of her face, namely her daughter.
You're asking to get hurt.
When it comes to Paige and relationships, there always seems to be trouble.
Paige says she will do whatever it takes to be with her new girlfriend, even if it means moving back into the car.
My girlfriend and I were living in the car for about a month. It was tough. It was really tough. We just sleep with the seat reclined. Basically, use these as our pillows. It was pretty hot. We'd hook up a little fan right here. Pretty uncomfortable. My back hurt. I put up some shades to keep people from watching us sleep. We would cook food at gas stations in their microwaves. I got a gym membership so we could take showers. We've done haircuts there. The fridge. Ta-da! Couldn't keep too much in it. My car smelled like home. I'd get in my car and I'm like, I'm home. Like, somehow we made it work.
But Paige says they wouldn't have been in the car in the first place if it weren't for her controlling mother.
When my girlfriend and I got kicked out of our old roommate's house, my mom decided she didn't want us to live with her. My mom told me that my girlfriend couldn't stay at the house with her and my daughter.
Paige absolutely always has a place at our house for her and her daughter, but we did not feel comfortable having this person in our house.
I was living in my car because it would have made my girlfriend 100% homeless. The things you do for love. My mom definitely exaggerates and thinks that there are problems that I don't have. I've got my life pretty much together. I've got a car and a job, and I get to see my daughter every day.
If she says something, we never know if it's the truth or not.
My family thinks I keep secrets.
I think she's taking drugs.
My parents think that, I was doing hard drugs. I haven't done that.
Paige has been found with drugs in her dwelling, but the only one that Paige admits to using is marijuana.
I occasionally smoke weed. Having to leave my daughter at my mom's was completely miserable. My mom wasn't really giving me a choice. She took her from me.
They said you can have her back when you get your act together.
I would move back into my car if it meant keeping my girlfriend from being homeless, even though I'd be leaving my daughter behind again.
Okay, Paige, thanks for being here. I want to start with the last thing you said. The last thing you said was, I would leave to go be with my girlfriend. This is a romantic relationship?
Yes, it is.
I would leave to go be with my girlfriend, my significant other, even if it meant leaving my baby behind again. I want to start there because I don't understand that. That seems to be an upside-down priority, particularly for you, because everything, we do a lot of background research, and everything I can find out about you is, prior to this, you've been a really good mom,
right.
Really loving mom, an attentive mom, play, feed, changed, everything that you'd think a mother with a maternal bond would do. And now you're saying, no, I would leave. I'd leave her behind.
Right.
How do you get to that point?
Really, the reason I would leave my daughter behind is because, I feel like they're doing a very good job of keeping her safe.
All they have to do is say, okay, we're not willing to take care of your child anymore. Now what are you going to do?
Then I guess I'm in a position where I've got my child living in a car with me and my girlfriend.
Why can you two not get jobs and
I do
save
have
up
a
money,
job,
but
Dr.
no,
Phil.
I mean enough to be self-sustaining. Save up money, put down deposits, get an apartment, make a home for yourselves.
I was a stay-at-home mom. I've only had a job for a little over a month now, so I've only had a little over a month to try and save up money. She was looking for a job before.
And how long have you known this person?
I've known her since the beginning of this year, spring, so May. No, before May.
You've just known her a few months?
Yeah, beginning of April.
And your daughter's how old?
She's almost 2 in October.
2. So you've just known this woman for a few months. Your daughter's 2. I tell you what, I've got a major sticking point with this whole thing, and I don't have a sticking point with you having a relationship. I don't have a sticking point with you wanting to be with somebody. I don't have a sticking point with your right to do that. But I have one major sticking point that I don't think you've thought of, and I'm going to ask you about that when we come back. Okay?
I wanted to be able to prove to them, this is how much I care for somebody. You know, I'm willing to sleep in my car.
We're looking for you to prove to us how much you care for your daughter.
You're looking for me to pick between, you know,
Yes,
my daughter
yes,
and
that's what a mother
somebody
does.
that you never gave a chance.
Yes, that's what a mother does.
And later,
When I started living in my car, I never thought I would be there a full month.
this is emotional extortion. She's playing chicken with you, but you didn't blink.
Paige lives day by day.
She expects us to be an ATM. Last year, we paid 3 months rent for her. We have been buying diapers and food for the baby. We've been paying for Paige's gas.
Right now, my mom and dad help me a lot financially. I definitely don't show them enough appreciation.
I don't know what her plan is. She seems like she doesn't have much direction.
Okay, Nancy says Paige has been off track with her life the past few months. Lance agrees and says Paige has tried her hand at cosmetology, was going to enlist in the Navy, even worked at the circus. But she currently doesn't have any career goals at all. Now, I said I had a sticking point about this relationship. And I say that not knowing this person at all, so I'm not judging her or your relationship at all. But I do have a sticking point, and I look at relationships in terms of what the cost is in getting into a relationship. And there was a note that was kind of concerning girlfriend's constructive criticism of you. And these were these talking points, and tell me what these are. One of them says, talk about her like a fangirl. What's a fangirl?
You know, is your fan your biggest fan?
Okay. Admiration. Like you admire the person and all?
Yeah.
You think, okay, all right. Think the girlfriend's feelings first every single time. Is this what you're saying to yourself? That you need to do to be a better partner?
Yeah.
Okay, that you need to think of your girlfriend's feelings first every time. Every decision and suggestions have logic behind them. The girlfriend is right 90% of the time. She is not an emotionally driven individual. That's your assessment?
Yeah.
That she's more logical?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Stop focusing on making your wrongs look right. Accept ownership of mistakes. Learn from your mistakes. That's a pretty good one.
Right.
That'd be good one for everybody. All right, listen to the words girlfriend says carefully. Don't talk to your exes. You want to know what my major sticking point is? You don't seem terribly curious.
I'm just trying to think what it might be.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, here's my major sticking point. If person A really loves and cares about person B, they are careful to not ever put person B in a circumstance or situation that is not in their best interest. So in this situation, I'm trying to look at this through your girlfriend's eyes and saying, I'm putting her in an either-or situation where she is choosing it's either her daughter or me. And that's just unhealthy and unfair, and I don't want to be someone that would put her in that situation, because if I love her, I would never do anything to jeopardize her relationship with her daughter. No how, no way, no how am I going to be that person that puts her in that situation.
There were lots of times that she said, you know, that I should go back and live with my parents and that I should just leave her to sleep on the streets. And, you know, that was a conversation we had almost every single day. And, you know, I told her, because I love and care for her, I can't just leave her to sleep on the street under a bridge, you know? And I wanted to be able to prove to them, you know, this is how much I care for somebody. You know, I'm willing to sleep in my car. I'm willing to, you know, only get to see my daughter a few times a week because of this. And
but how does... We're looking for you to prove to us how much you care for your daughter, not the person that you met in May.
You're looking for me to pick between, you know, my daughter and
that's what a mother
somebody
does.
that you never gave a chance.
Yes, that's what a mother does.
We did give her a chance. We gave her a chance. We gave her every chance we would give anybody else and have given anybody else.
You gave my ex a lot more chances, and you know that.
No,
I don't think it has to be an either-or personally. And coming up, Paige says that her mom buys her daughter everything she needs, like food and diapers, but Paige has a job, so where is all of her paycheck going? And we'll be right back.
I'm concerned for her daughter. Paige choosing to live in a car is absurd. It's selfish.
Paige's sister Haley says she knows what a great mom Paige can be, but she says her current behavior with her new girlfriend is just asinine. Take a look.
I don't recognize Paige anymore. Paige lies. She lies about what she does, who she's with, what she spends money on. Paige used to stay at home all day with her daughter, play with her, sing to her, bathe her, and now she will hand her daughter off to someone else to take care of her. I'm concerned for her daughter. Paige choosing to live in a car is absurd. It's selfish to choose the car over living in a home that's safe where her daughter is. Paige had told me that she sends money to her girlfriend in treatment. Paige could be spending the money on her daughter. My dad and Nancy don't know that Paige is sending money to the girlfriend in treatment. We have to get through to Paige before she's living in her car or homeless.
Haley, thank you for being here. This is
Thank you, Dr. Phil.
This is a different set of behaviors than you've seen before, right?
Correct. It's a complete transformation. You treat this girlfriend more like a daughter and put her as a priority more than you do your actual daughter. And it doesn't make sense to me.
If you were talking to a friend about this, not yourself, I mean, just hypothetically, you were talking to their friend and they said, you know, I'm going to leave my daughter behind and go live in a car with somebody I met a few months ago. Would that seem odd to you?
Having been in the position, you know, I try to put myself in everybody's shoes. I guess it would in ways seem odd, but, you know, when I started living in my car, I never thought I would be there a full month. I thought, you know, it would give my parents the understanding of how I felt for this girl and how much she meant and that she deserved another chance.
You gravitate towards people that don't treat you with the respect that you deserve. And I
well, maybe it's because I never had a father figure growing up.
Well, that is part of the issue. It is part of the issue. And we need to address a lot of things. I think that you need to address a lot of things that you need to be working through, for sure.
Okay, and I also, I don't like the whole, you know, you think I'm spending all of my paycheck giving her money and you don't know about it. You've given me money to help her as well.
That was before you were working, and since you have been working? That was when I was
working. I've always had a job since I've been staying with you again. I got one paycheck since I've had this job. It was $275 that went for, I bought diapers right before we came here. So don't act like you've bought every single one of them.
I said, please buy a box of diapers. If I didn't ask, you would not have, and you have not.
You lost a child.
Yes, I did. I haven't talked much about it.
Is it possible that you're in a little bit of protective mode?
Yeah, I've never thought of it that way before.
Paige lost her baby unexpectedly. It was very traumatic for her.
I was pregnant with my second child, and I started cramping.
At almost 20 weeks, the baby was born healthy, but just too early. Lived about 3.5 hours and then passed away.
We got to hold her, tried to soak in as much of her as we could.
I think for Paige, the loss of her baby has definitely had a negative impact on her life.
I believe the things that we're seeing are just coping mechanisms for the pain that she hasn't really addressed yet.
In December of 2017, you lost a child.
She was alive for a little over 3 hours.
And you spent that 3 hours with her?
Yes, I did.
And she died in your arms?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very sorry for your loss, by the way. That's a terrible, terrible thing to go through. I'm very, very sorry.
Thank you.
You know, sometimes those kind of experiences can cause people to go through life in kind of a protective sort of way, you know, where they just withdraw their feelings and not let themselves be vulnerable and exposed a whole lot. Because it's just safer. Do you think that has affected the way you feel emotionally?
Definitely, yeah. I haven't talked much about it.
Because, you know, the less you invest, the less it hurts if you lose.
It's true.
Are you ever afraid that something might happen to your daughter now?
Yeah, of course I am. Yeah.
Do you think it can cause you to keep a little bit of distance from her?
I've never thought of it that way, honestly.
Is it possible that you're in a little bit of protective mode?
It might be. Yeah, I've never thought of it that way before.
Have you ever really grieved the loss of that baby?
I don't think so.
Would you think that it maybe resulted in you being confused some?
Yeah, I was definitely confused.
And you're how old now?
23.
23. And you're not on drugs, are you?
No, I'm not.
Your parents think you are, but you're not, are you?
No, recreational marijuana.
We did a drug screen on you. I haven't looked, but I suspect you know whether it's clean or not. Is it clean?
Yeah.
It's clean.
I want that to be the answer.
Paige's parents say she lies about her whereabouts, says she's going one place and goes another. Is that true? And if so, why is she doing that? We'll talk about that when we come back.
My mom definitely thought I was on drugs when I was living in my car.
Sometimes she'll be sniffing a lot, or she'll say, oh, my nose is so runny today, and just, you know, she lost a lot of weight. She got down to 90 pounds.
I was not on drugs when I was living in my car.
We've just looked at a drug screen, and does not indicate any other drugs, and I don't observe any drug behavior. Are you going places that you tell your parents you're going one place and then you go somewhere else?
No, I'm not. I don't really go that many places. I work a part-time job. You know, every once in a while when my daughter's sleeping, I'll go out at night, but I don't tell them I'm going other places, no.
Let me tell you what I'm concerned about. I don't think that's true. I think you are telling them A and then going to B, and I can go into detail about that in a minute, but I said I was focused on why you were doing some of the things you were doing. What I'm concerned about is you seem to be undervaluing yourself. That's what I'm concerned about. I don't know this woman that you're in a relationship with. I didn't know the man you were in a relationship with before. I know you have a relationship with your daughter. Your sister says that you can be a really great mom, but that you're now treating this woman who you barely know with a higher regard than you're treating her own daughter, right? That's what you're saying?
Correct. To choose to live in a car with someone over living in a home where you have everything you need, including your daughter.
That tells me you're undervaluing yourself. The formative years with your daughter are now. The formative years of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, these are highly critical years of relationship building, bonding, and personality formation with your daughter, and the most powerful role model in her life is you. The same-sex parent is the most powerful role model in any child's life. And so she looks at you to see who you are and how you live with dignity and self-respect and passion and standards and values and morals and all the things that go into being a role model. She's looking at you right now.
That's probably why I have a lot of the problems I do now.
May very well be, and you can either carry that legacy from one generation to the next, or you can choose to change it for her. They follow you, they pay attention to where you go. They're nosy and they're busybodies, and they follow you around to see what you're doing. And you'll tell them, I'm going to work early, and you have to get there early, and they say that's not true. You make 5 stops before you go to work and then show up late. I don't know where you're going or why, but it sounds like high-risk behavior to me. And then you're with a woman that is homeless, and you say, I'm not going to let her be homeless by herself. I'll go be homeless with her. And my daughter picks up the tab for that. That tells me the priorities are upside down, which tells me that you're emotionally confused. And so I look and I see, well, 0 to 16, your bio dad's in and out of your life, as you said. From 8 to 13, you say you're bullied at school from 3rd to 8th grade. Then at 13, you say your mother has an affair with Lance. Then at 22, you lose this child, and it lives for just a few hours in your arms, and it is taken away. I think that you have unresolved trauma in your life that at a very young age can just seem really overwhelming, and I think you need help with it. And we can do this a couple of ways. I can either say, okay, tough love time, guys. Take the car away. If she wants to be homeless, let her go be homeless, but she ain't gonna do it in your car. If you think she's lying to you about going from A to B when she's out going from A to A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, and you see her racing down the road at all high speeds and stuff that's putting herself at risk, taking high-risk behaviors, with the mother of a child does not have the right to put herself in high-risk situations, and you're enabling that by giving her a car. I can tell you, just take the car away, and if she can't If she can't use it responsibly, then take it away. If she can't tell you the truth, then don't give her the freedom to do it. You don't have to enable her to do it. Or we could use Plan B. And I'll tell you what that is after the break. You know, they've asked me for my advice. And I don't believe in enabling people. So I have one alternative, which I can say, okay, she's already told you she's playing chicken with you. This is emotional extortion. She's saying, I have my daughter as a hostage here. And so I'm saying, I will prove to you how much I love this other person by saying, I will leave and go live with her in a car. That's how much I love her. I'm proving to you, this isn't a whim, this is how much I love this person. I will leave my daughter and go live with her in a car. That should prove to you how much I love her. So let's just play chicken here, but you didn't blink. So then she's there and said, well, hell, I never thought I'd be here for a month because you didn't blink. Right now, I don't think you are making sound decisions because I think you have a trauma-induced distortion of reality. Because I think you have some open wounds that you didn't ask for, but nobody's ever helped you with them. There is a place in Tennessee called On-Site. And On-Site it's an absolutely beautiful place. And they are really the best place I know for providing really intensive workshops for people that have been through emotional trauma in their lives. And it's not a psychiatric facility at all. And by the way, you can come and go when you want. I mean, if you got there and don't like it, you can leave. We can go to Plan B. But I think it's a beautiful, intensive place that you can go and call time out and put yourself at the top of the priority list and say, you know what, I'm going to focus on me for a while and see if I can heal some wounds. And they deal with people that are struggling with trauma, issues of self-worth, self-esteem, all of these things that it's like this place was invented for you. And I would like to make that available to you if you would like to avail yourself of it. And then I would like to follow that up with you having your own professional that you can rely on at home for you. What do you think about that?
I'm definitely open to it, yeah.
Give it a shot?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fair enough? Okay. I want to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to Miles Adcox and On-Site for offering to help Paige. If you want my help and my attention, log on to drphil.com, tell me your story. And if you've written in before, if you've written in several times and you haven't heard back, send us your email again. I do want to hear